If you're a school leader or an IT pro, you know the pressure is on. You've invested a ton in technology, but are you really seeing the results? Well, today, we're going to break down a 4-step blueprint to make sure your tech budget is actually driving learning and not just, collecting dust in a corner.
So let's just start with the multi-million-dollar question, right? Is all this tech actually helping kids learn, or is it just a black hole for your budget? Look, if you've ever walked into a classroom, seen a bunch of expensive but unused gadgets, and felt that little pit in your stomach, you are definitely not alone.
And the pressure is really mounting. I mean, school leaders are basically caught in this perfect storm. Future funding is a huge question mark. All those devices you got during the pandemic, they're starting to expire. And that means the big, expensive refresh cycles are right around the corner. It's a recipe for having a lot of very pricey paperweights.
Now, look, this doesn't mean you should just panic and slam the brakes on all new investments. The key here isn't to spend less, it's to spend smarter. And to do that, you absolutely need a clear strategic plan.
So, how do you get a handle on all this? We're going to walk through a simple 4-step blueprint. First, we'll talk about auditing and aligning your tech. Then, we'll focus on the people, the human factor. After that, we'll dive into how to invest strategically. And we'll wrap it all up by shifting our mindset from just buying tech to building a whole ecosystem.
All right, let's start with the foundation. Steps 1 and 2, these are all about getting a really clear picture of what you already have, and maybe even more importantly, why you have it in the first place. Step 1 is all about visibility. You've got to conduct a full, comprehensive tech audit. And I mean everything. Every interactive panel, every laptop, every single software subscription you might have forgotten about. You might be shocked at the ghost tech you're still paying for. Because let's be real, if you don't know what you have, there's no way you can manage your budget or plan for the future. Okay, so you've made your list. You know what you have, but now comes the most important question of all. Why do you have it? And that question leads us right into step 2. And this is where you start to see the immediate payoff. As this quote from EdTech magazine points out, doing this kind of strategic check-in is the absolute fastest way to stop wasting money. You can get rid of tools that do the same thing, stop overpaying for software, and just streamline your spending. It's a direct hit to your bottom line, in a good way. So here's the bottom line. Technology can't just exist for the sake of being technology. Every single tool in your inventory has to answer one simple question. How does this help a student learn or a teacher teach? If that answer isn't super clear, then that tool probably needs a second look. So, you've audited your tech, you've aligned it with your learning goals, but believe it or not, that's only half the battle. Now we're moving on to step 3, because any piece of tech is only as good as the people who use it. It's all about the human factor. I mean, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? Investing in technology without training teachers is like buying a car without teaching anyone to drive. It is, without a doubt, the single biggest mistake schools make. Your teachers are in the driver's seat, and their skill is what determines if you actually get anywhere. But empowering people also means you have to understand their different perspectives. Your teachers, your instructional staff, they're focused on learning outcomes and, frankly, convenience. Your IT team, on the other hand, is rightly focused on things like privacy and security. Sometimes these goals can clash, which is why having really clear communication about why certain tools are chosen or not chosen is just absolutely essential. And hey, let's not forget about supporting the IT team, investing in their training, maybe using managed services for support, and picking tech that just plays well with others. That has a huge long-term payoff. The goal is to get them out of that endless cycle of help tickets so they can focus on bigger, high-impact projects that really move the school forward. And all of that brings us to step 4. See, with that solid foundation now in place, you're finally ready to buy new tech. But this time, you're going to do it strategically. A smart investment really means understanding the difference between hardware and software. Hardware feels tangible, right? You can see it, you can touch it. It's often funded through grants. Software, though, that's an ongoing expense from the operating budget, which can make people hesitate. But in today's classroom, it is just as critical. Knowing how each one is funded and how long it's meant to last helps you plan your budget for the long haul. So before you sign a single purchase order, run that piece of tech through this simple checklist. Number 1, does it support a clear learning goal? 2, can our IT team actually manage this thing without pulling their hair out? And 3, are our teachers trained and ready to go on day 1? If the answer isn't a firm yes to all 3, then the answer is no, at least for right now. Okay, let's bring this all together.
What's the big takeaway from this whole four-step blueprint? Well, it's really about a fundamental shift in how you think about technology.
The ultimate goal here isn't just about buying the newest, shiniest gadgets. It's about strategically building a cohesive, future-ready educational ecosystem, one where every single piece of technology actually works together to empower your teachers and truly deeply engage your students.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Looking at this blueprint, what is the one strategic decision you can make this month to start building a smarter tech future for your school? Whether that's just starting that audit or scheduling a new training session, that first step is all yours. Thanks for tuning in.